Welcome to a Lions Live Wire Holly Jolly Lions Den. I've updated the basement to where the lighting is finally better and to where we have a little bit something different to look at. But the main important thing about this video is the review, obviously. The Lions beat the Indianapolis Colts 24-6 and moved to 10-1. I was at this game, that's why this video is obviously coming out a day late because we didn't get home until about midnight. So I was at the game, met up with, in my opinion, one of the best Lions YouTube, but the best Lions creator out there, but one of the best creators out there in general, Derek from Lions Syndicate. Fantastic guy, great guy. Met him at the game yesterday. Fantastic guy. I don't know what's going on with this picture in my face and stuff, but met Derek yesterday. It was fantastic. And it was a great game in general. I was up very high in the game yesterday. Seats were extremely high up. So it was a little bit hard to kind of see the players. So you always had to look at the TV screen or whatever it's called down there. But it was a fantastic game. I'm not going to lie. The first half I was very disappointed. Very boring to me. Not really much was happening. Not really going as I expected. But the Lions were able to turn around in the second half and definitely clean some things up. So let's hop right into the stats here. Leave your thoughts, comments down below too. If you like the blue color, if you think I should make a different color, I don't know. I think the blue looks good. But leave your thoughts, comments down below what you think about that. But Lions moved to 10-1, winning 24-6 against the Indianapolis Colts. The Indianapolis Colts fall to 5-7. We are now 4-0 in the AFC South this year. We have beaten every team in the AFC South: the Colts, the Titans, the Jags, and the Texans. So we have beat every team in the AFC North this season. We absolutely killed the AFC North. Besides the Texans was the only game that was like, oh yeah, we probably should have lost that game. We should have. I mean, there's no way we should have overcame that, but we did because that's the brand new Lions. But again, here's the stats. Jared Goff, pretty clean day for the most part. 26 for 36, 269, 0 touchdowns, 0 picks. Played a very clean game. He should have had one ball picked, and he also had a fumble that the Lions did recover. But overall, I thought he played a very clean day for the most part. There was also a couple drops in there by the Lions receivers. Laporta dropped one. Then I think there was another one in there as well. Jared Goff played a very clean game. Also, he should have hit Jameson Williams, but it was a very nice play by the defensive back. I forget who knocked it away, but it would have been about a 70-yard touchdown pass if the defensive back one made a nice play because there was no safety behind Jameson Williams. And you know how fast Jameson Williams is. He just would have caught the ball and then taken off. So Jared Goff probably would have had around 315, 320 passing yards and a touchdown if he would have connected on that. But that's just a great play by the defensive back. So Jared Goff did play a very clean day. No excuses whatsoever. Him having a bad game. Jahmyr Gibbs, 21 for 90, 4.3 yards per carry, 2 touchdowns. Very clean day by him as well. Not the best performance by him. Did have a couple of touchdowns. A little under 100 rushing yards on 21 carries, but very solid day. Broke a couple for decent little gains, but he also was stuffed for only about 1 or 2 yards on a lot of plays as well. David Montgomery only had 8 for 37, did have a touchdown. He did get hurt, I believe, in that third quarter. Dan Campbell took him out of the game. Montgomery said he would have been able to return, but Dan Campbell was just playing it safe to keep him out for the rest of the game to hopefully be ready against the Bears on Thanksgiving. Craig Rowland sealed it with a 6-yard run with the last play of the game for the Lions. Jameson Williams led the Lions in receiving yards, 5 for 64. Saint, 6 for 62. Tim Patrick, continuing to show he's definitely been the Josh Rollins replacement, 4 for 55. Montgomery, 3 for 36. Montgomery's been way more involved in the receiving game this year than what I expected. He's actually probably been more involved in the receiving game this year than Jahmyr Gibbs. Now, Jahmyr Gibbs is more explosive, so he's taken more of the receptions a longer distance. But Montgomery shows that dink and dunk guy who'll get you 5 yards, somewhere around there. He's been very good in the receiving game this year. Brock Wright had a solid day, 2 for 24. Laporta, 3 for 19. The one he would have dropped would have been, I think, a 15-yard catch, so he would have had around 4 for 34. Jahmyr Gibbs, 3 for 9. Raymond was targeted once, but he's not able to pull it in. That was the one time he was targeted was the ball that should have been intercepted. He was able to play defense and knock the ball out from the defender's hands. So shout out to Khalif Raymond. Now, Raymond did get hurt on a punt return during the game. Dan Campbell said it could be a little more serious. They'll know tomorrow on Tuesday. They don't really know how significant it is right now, but it's the most significant. We had 4 injuries happen today. We had Carlton Davis get hurt, Taylor Decker, Khalif Raymond, and David Montgomery. So Decker said he should be good to go Thursday. He, however, did not practice today on Monday. Carlton Davis, I didn't know he had an injury, but he did pop up in the injury report today. Did not practice, but I'm assuming he should be ready to go. But Dan Campbell doesn't know about Montgomery, Decker, or Carlton right now, but he probably most likely thinks that Raymond will be out because just off the way he reacted yesterday and not really any positives so far today. He was not confident about those other 3 guys either, but I'm sure he feels a little bit better about those guys. Malcolm Rodriguez on defense had 7 tackles, led the team. He did get a game ball from Dan Campbell in the post-game locker room celebration. He's done a fantastic job filling in for Germ and Alex now. He's definitely lived up to the 6th-round pick. He's realistically probably lived up to a 3rd-round pick. He's been playing very well. And I think he could be the reason why Derek Barnes does not get extended this offseason. But I know how much Dan Campbell and the Lions love their linebackers, and Derek Barnes won't cost much at all. And again, I would still extend Derek Barnes. I still think he's slightly better than Malcolm Rodriguez. But Malcolm Rodriguez has done a fantastic job, and I think I would not be surprised if that is why Derek Barnes does not come back next season because of the development of Malcolm Rodriguez. And also the development of Jack Campbell. You see him on the thumbnail. He's been balling out of his mind. A little bit of disappointing rookie season from him last year, but he's definitely taken that next step this year. He's been playing out of his mind. He still doesn't have any major stats. He doesn't have a pick. He might have one forced fumble. But he's been playing out of his mind, been making a lot of nice tackles, been making a lot of tackles for loss. He's been rushing the passer a little bit better this year than last year. He's been playing very well this year. I think once Alex Anzalone's deal is up, either Alex is going to retire or he's going to head somewhere else, not because the Lions don't want him back, just because of the emergence of our young linebackers with Rodrigo, with Derek Barnes if we decide to bring him back, and with Jack Campbell. Brian Branch, a little bit of a bad day wasn't a bad day for him. He did make some nice plays, but he also missed a couple of tackles today, which is unlike him. Tried to make some big hits, wasn't able to bring the guy down. That's rare because he's always usually able to bring the guy down, so that was a little bit surprising. But Brian Branch, a little bit of an off day, but he'll bounce back next week, obviously, because it's Brian Branch. Kirby Joseph almost had another interception, but just couldn't pull it in. It was going to be a hard interception to pull in, but he tried, at least, did not pull it in. He played pretty solid, though. Kendall Vildor. All right. Let me come back to me here. Kendall Vildor. I've had this guy's back for the whole offseason, pretty much. And even when he signed with us and struggled. And I especially had his back after the NFC Championship game where the helmet missed interception. I still don't hate the guy by any means. And I still don't think he deserves the hate that everybody gives him. But I have realized now, after having a full offseason to work with, that he is definitely no better than a cornerback 5 or 6. Maybe even just a practice squad guy. Now, again, does not deserve all the hate. He was still brought into way big of a role last year from what he, should be playing. But if Kendall Vildor has to start for us again, that's a problem. Again, Kendall Vildor as a death piece, just sliding in to give some guys some rest, like Arnold, CD, and all them guys, then that is completely fine, and that is what, in my opinion, he should be used for. But never again, unless if we are major, and I mean majorly hitting the secondary, where, heaven forbid, CD, Terrell Arnold, Meek, or something like that were to all go down, then that would be the only way, in my opinion, that it would make sense or make any sense whatsoever to start Kindle Vildor again. He is a cornerback 5, cornerback 6 guy you can slide in there during a game to give guys like a Meek, CD, and Arnold some rest. We do need another corner now because Ennis Rakershaw got placed on IR. Emmanuel Mosley did get activated, but he did not really play any defensive snaps yesterday. He was on special teams for a couple plays, but I did not see him on defense whatsoever. I watched, obviously, the full game at the stadium, and I also watched the full game on Sunday Ticket. So, did not see him one play on defense, I don't think. I saw him on special teams, did not see him one time on defense. If you did see him on defense, put it in the comments down below, but I did not see it from when I was watching the game at Lucas Oil, and I did not see it while I was watching it on Sunday Ticket. So, I don't know, but I want to see him in the defense more next week because it looks like probably CD right now is heading towards not playing. Arnold will be back, but, Arnold's going to have a big role next week. He's going to go against 3 very good wide receivers in DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, and Rome Odunze. So it's gonna be a task force next week, especially if we don't have CD. But again, Vildor, death piece. That's what he is. And he still does not deserve the hate, in my opinion, because. But I am at that point, and I'm officially at that point where it's only a guy that can be rotated in for guys to get some rest. That is it. Amik Robertson played a nice game, made some nice tackles. Josh Pascal got a couple pressures in there. Anybody else I can highlight here? Zadarius Smith led the team in pressures. I didn't really see much from him during the game, but once I watched it on Sunday Ticket, I did see he got a lot of pressures. I think he got 5 total this week, led the team. William McNeil also had a very good day. He should have had 2 sacks and a forced fumble. He actually should have had a sack. He brought Richardson down. Richardson, however, lost the ball, and the Colts were able to recover it, gaining yardage, so it wasn't a sack. And then William McNeil almost made a safety on Anthony Richardson, but Anthony Richardson was somehow able to get the ball out. So, and he was in the backfield, I think, 4 times. I think he got 4 pressures. So, William McNeil, this is probably one of his best games of the year, even though he did not record a sack or anything. But Zadarius Smith and William McNeil, watching the tape, did play very well. Anybody else here I can highlight? Levi, I think, got a pressure or 2 in there as well. No. This is bad coaching right here. This was the worst coaching of the day, in my opinion. St. Brown, once Raymond went down, had to come in and punt return for Khalif Raymond. That's the dumbest thing you could possibly do, in my opinion. The one guy that you could not put out there is St. Brown. St. Brown is the heartbeat of the offense in terms of the receivers. Put Craig Reynolds back there. Put Sione Vaki back there. Put Khalil Dorsey back there. Put Kindle Vildor back there. Don't put your best wide receiver out there. Don't put a guy who can be involved in the blocking game, receiving game, and run game out there. Don't put a guy who's arguably your best player on offense on special teams, specifically punt returns. You just don't do that. So I would have liked to just seen Craig Reynolds, Sione Vaki, somebody like that, Kindle Vildor, Khalil Dorsey, somebody like that. Not your best wide receiver, best weapon on offense. Just don't do that again, Dan Campbell. That's all I ask. And he took a big hit and he missed practice today with a knee injury. Hopefully it wasn't from one of those punt returns, because if it was, I'm going to lose my mind. Hopefully they learn, not St. Brown, but hopefully Dan Campbell and the Lions learn their lesson not to put St. Brown back there again. That was the only bad thing, though, about this game that I'm like, that really made me mad. Jake Bates continues to make his 100% field goal stay alive. He made 1 field goal today from 56. Absolutely drilled it straight down the middle. He's now 16 for 16. The Lions are still the only team in the NFL not to miss a field goal this season. So Jake Bates has been playing out of his mind. Jake Bates is now 16 for 16 on the year in field goals, and he has only missed 1 extra point this season, taking away the preseason. He's been playing out of his mind. So glad we picked him up. Jack Fox was booming punts, had 48 yards per average. Very good. I gotta hurry this video up. I just didn't realize it's 15 minutes. Go over the team stats and one in the video here. Lions, 390 total yards. Colts, 268. Passing yards for the Lions, 253 to 172. Rushing yards, 137 to 96. Yards per play, 5.4 to 5.5. They actually beat us there, surprisingly. 26 first downs for the Lions, 11 for the Colts. Third down efficiency, we went 9 for 15. They went 3 for 12. Fourth down efficiency, by the way, that fourth down call that we made was horrendous. Didn't like that either, but they were trying to pound it with money. Did not work. They had like 4 guys in the backfield. They had Skipper, Wright, Laporta, and Montgomery in the backfield. Don't really know what they were trying to do there. I'm not going to hate on it too much, though, because they love pounding it with money, and sometimes it does work. I think the design of that play, what they were trying to do was not bad, but the design of the play and how it was designed was horrible. But I'm still more concerned about the punt return issue with St. Brown being our backup right now than that play. I'm going to let that one slide. Total fourth down efficiency, they went 0 for 1. Total plays, we had 72 to their 49. Now, Jared Goff did get sacked 3 times today. We did not get to Anthony Richardson, even though we should have 2 or 3 times. We did allow 3 sacks, but you could only probably blame 1 on the offensive line. 2 of them were Jared Goff was running out of the pocket, and I think he went down just like 1 yard shy, so it shouldn't really count. It should be more on Goff than the offensive line. And then another one was on the I can't remember. But I do remember only 1 being on the offensive line, and I think that is when Skipper had to come in for Decker. Now, this was funny as well. I did see the play. When Decker went down, the first play that Decker was out, Glasgow actually moved to tackle, and Michael Neese came in and played guard. That was very interesting. Hey, Glasgow looked amazing on that one play, though, at tackle. Shout out to Glasgow, man. But then the next play, Skipper came in at tackle, and Glasgow moved back to guard. But that was hilarious, in my opinion. Again, but only 1 of the sacks, in my opinion, was on the offensive line. Punts, we had 4, they had 6. Penalties, we had 5 for 45, they had 10 for 75. Penalties is what killed them. Truly, if they did not have those penalties, this game would be a lot closer. It would probably be 24-20, like legitimately. They would have probably gotten 2 more touchdowns if they wouldn't have had those penalties. Like, we did not play our cleanest game today whatsoever, even though it seems like we absolutely blew them out. We did not. We still played better than them, but it was way closer. It should have been way closer than what it was. Fumbles lost, they had 0 to our 0 as well. No team got a turnover today, so that streak ends. So does St. Brown touchdown streak also ends as well. That's unfortunate. Time possession, 37 minutes and a second for us, 22 minutes and 59 seconds for the Colts. So the Lions beat the Colts 24-6, winning by 3 scores, even though realistically the Lions should have only realistically probably should have won by a field goal, not 3 scores. But we do move to 10-1. I can't imagine 4 years ago me thinking the Lions would be 10-1 at this point and be the best team in the NFL. I would have never thought that. So Dan Campbell, Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn, Kelvin Shepard, Sheila Ford, all them guys, they've done a fantastic job at turning this thing around. We now face the Bears on Thanksgiving Thursday. It will be a very short week. I might be having a video out tomorrow for you guys. I'm gonna wait and see. It will either be out depending on the Cleve Raymond news. If the Cleve Raymond news is bad, then the video will be out. If the Cleve Raymond news is somewhat good, then the video will not come out. So there you go. If Cleve Raymond's injury, if it is somehow unfortunately bad, then the video will come out. If the injury is good, then the video will not come out. So there you go. One Pride Go Lions. Gotta keep this under 20 minutes. One Pride Go Lions. 10-1. Let that sink in.